Above the surface, a combustion engine announces itself with a heavy, rolling rumble. Switch that out for an electric trolling motor, and you get what feels like perfect stealth, a whisper-quiet glide across the water. But that sense of silence relies entirely on how our ears process sound in the air. Air is highly compressible. Its molecules are spread out, meaning sound waves lose energy quickly as they push through the gaps. Water is completely different. It has a high bulk modulus, which means it heavily resists being squeezed. Its molecules are packed tight. Because water is so dense and incompressible, a blast of energy doesn't dissipate. It transfers from molecule to molecule with brutal efficiency. Sound waves travel about 1,500 meters per second underwater. That is over 4 times faster than they travel through the air. While that motor sounds like a gentle hum to us above the surface, beneath the waterline, it actively generates an intense, invisible acoustic shockwave. Our reliance on airborne hearing creates a massive biological blind spot. We assume that because we can't hear the motor, the aquatic environment is at peace, mistaking our own deafness for perfect stealth. To understand why the electric motor is so disruptive, we have to look at the traditional combustion engine. Underwater, an idling gas outboard creates a dull, rolling, low-frequency pulse. Those slow, rhythmic pressure waves easily blend into the background. They mimic the natural, low-frequency hydrodynamic sounds of moving water and tides. But an electric trolling motor behaves completely differently. To generate thrust from a much smaller profile, its blades have to spin incredibly fast, particularly at the outermost edges. This brings us to Bernoulli's principle. As fluid moves faster over a surface, its pressure drops. As the edge of that propeller blade slices through the water at high speeds, the local static pressure violently plummets. The electric motor's danger stems from the unnatural pressure differentials created by its high-speed rotation through the water. When the local pressure along that blade edge drops below the water's vapor pressure, the fluid literally tears apart. Microscopic gas nuclei trapped in the water suddenly expand, flashing into vapor-filled cavities. These vapor bubbles cling to the blade for a fraction of a second before the rotation sweeps them backward, instantly plunging them into the colder, higher pressure zones of the surrounding water. This chart captures the acoustic pressure of collapse. Fluid slams inward, driving pressures above 8 million pascals and producing light flashes known as sonoluminescence. Millions of these implosions happen every second, creating chaotic trailing oscillations that completely destabilize the fluid. Together, these events generate a continuous barrage of sharp, jagged, high-frequency shockwaves that tear through the water at 1,500 meters per second. Propeller cavitation is essentially a localized sequence of violent, microscopic physical explosions that shatter the natural soundscape. For apex predators and schooling fish, navigating this landscape relies on a highly sensitive, distant touch array called the lateral line. At a microscopic level, the lateral line is made of organs called neuromasts. Each one features a flexible, jelly-like structure, the cupula, which rests on top of a dense cluster of sensory hair cells connected directly to the fish's nervous system. Millions of years of evolution have calibrated this organ to detect incredibly faint, low-frequency pressure waves. When a struggling insect hits the surface of the water, its gentle pressure waves rhythmically bend the cupula, telling the fish exactly where its prey is located. But when an electric motor speeds through the area, that delicate system is slammed by the high-frequency shockwaves generated by millions of cavitation bubbles. These chaotic shockwaves are alien to the aquatic environment, bypassing the precise evolutionary calibration of the fish's sensory organs. Under the force of these rapid strikes, the neuromast cupulas whip back and forth erratically. The physical trauma overwhelms the sensory hair cells. This sheer sensory overload masks crucial biological signals, rendering the fish functionally blind to predators and prey alike. In response, their bodies flood with cortisol, triggering an immediate panic response. True aquatic stealth requires the mastery of fluid dynamics.